Morning. Deborah says, Mock, we are riled up this AM.
Everybody's riled up.
Everybody's riled.
And we have done so much prep this morning. So much prep, you guys.
You guys, what are we even doing? We have done no prep.
We've done so much prep. Talking about life this morning. No prep.
Well, first and foremost, before we get into the nitty gritty, and there's a lot of nitty gritty to get into, right, we wanted to remind you that we have this amazing sponsor, Ruff Greens. If you love dogs, and I know you do, because who doesn't love dogs?
I have one sitting next to me right now.
Show his face.
He's laying there. He's so sleepy. He's like, no, I'm so tired because of all the Ruff Greens. So
it's just making him feel so good.
Oh, good.
Well, Ruff Greens is this amazing supplement for your dog, and it actually helps prolong their life. You know why? Because what you're feeding them is like just dead stuff, right? It has no nutrients of any relevance. It's got no probiotics. It's got no real actual things that your dog needs to live a long, healthy life. It's basically putting them into survival mode. And what they need is to flourish. And that is what Ruff Greens gives them. By the way, here's what it looks like. Like it's just a bag. See it? It just looks like this bag. And then inside of that bag is like I want to say it's almost like a flour consistency, right? Like it's a powder.
Yeah. It's not flaky. It's a powder. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you sprinkle and it comes with a little scooper and you sprinkle it just on top of your regular dog food, whatever dog food you use. And then your dogs will gobble it up. And they will get all kinds of health benefits from Ruff Greens. Think of it like an oil change for your car, right? It helps maintain the life of your car. That's exactly what Ruff Greens does.
I think it's
for your dog.
I think it's like anti-aging dog powder.
It is anti-aging dog powder.
Right. That's what I think. That's how they should market it. They just don't. They never ask me. None of the people ever ask me how to market things. It's sort of like my thing. That's how they should just call it anti-aging dog powder. And I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to buy that.
Yes.
I'm going to buy it.
And the great news is that right now you can try it for free. All you have to do is pay for shipping and you get a free bag. And by the way, it lasts. I mean, there's a good amount in there. Like there's a good, healthy amount in there. Mm-hmm. And it lasts. So all you have to do is go to Ruff Greens, and it's RUFF, ruffgreens.com/ and you can try it for free. And you're going to get it because after you try it, your dogs are going to look at you with that face when you run out and they're going to be like, what the hell, man? You're going to need to re-up that order. And then you're going to get it all the time.
You're going to get it. Get it.
Get it. Get it. Get it. Oh.
Right.
Oh.
That's right.
Thank you, Lisa. It's Lisa's birthday today. And she said, here is a gift for you girls, making our mornings bright and full of laughter. Thank you, Lisa.
Happy birthday, Lisa. So great.
You know what you should do to celebrate? Get yourself some Ruff Greens. That's what you should do.
You should.
All right, let's get to all of the hullabaloo from yesterday. So yesterday was the Senate hearing of the Joint Chiefs and CENTCOM guy and whatever all their fancy titles are. The three main military advisors to Joe Biden were grilled on the Hill yesterday. And I have a little montage to share with you that proves that Joe Biden is a big fat liar. And Psaki continues to also be his liar assistant, if you will. And we'll get to her in a second. But first, there's a really nice montage of the three military leaders saying very, very clearly what their advice about withdrawing from Afghanistan to Joe Biden was. And then a reminder is included of what Joe Biden said to George Snuffleupagus. So it's all put together in this one handy video that I'm going to share. Let me get my screen shareified. All right. And let me embiggen. Let me see. Is it big? Or it's not big yet, right?
Yeah, you got to embiggen.
Against withdrawing on this timeline. They wanted you to keep about 2,500 troops.
No, they didn't. It was split. That wasn't true. That wasn't true.
They didn't tell you that they wanted troops to stay?
No, not in terms of whether we were going to get out in a time frame, all troops. They didn't argue against that.
So no one told your military advisors did not tell you, no, we should just keep 2,500 troops. It's been a stable situation for the last several years. We can do that. We can continue to do that.
No, no one said that to me that I can recall.
I recommended that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan.
We should keep
Oh my God.
2,500, and it could bounce up to 3,500, maybe something like that, in order to move toward a negotiated gated solution.
It's a simple question, Secretary Austin. He said no senior military leader advised him to leave a small troop presence behind. Is that true or not? Did these officer and General Miller's recommendations get to the president personally?
Their input was received by the president and considered by the president, for sure.
No, no one said that to me that I can recall.
So
God.
there you have it. Uh-oh, sorry.
Oh my God.
There's another sound coming from my computer. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
so that was pretty compelling.
Yeah,
That he is a big fat liar.
pretty clear. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. But I think we all know already that Joe Biden is a big fat liar. I mean, he's the lying McLiarson. He's lied about all the things, everything, every single thing. And he makes
He's a
things
big
up
fat
too.
liar.
I mean, he just makes things up. He talks about all the things that he's done and all the jobs he's had and places that have hired him that have never hired him. And they're like, we never did that. It's like, he just makes things up as he goes along. So, I mean, he has this track record of lying. No one should be surprised by this.
Well, and I suppose it's possible because he is so demented at this point that he didn't remember all three of his primary advisors telling him the exact same thing. Maybe he legit didn't remember because that's how borked in the head he is. But I tend to think he remembered and he just went against their advice. And in fact, that's what Psaki's main talking point ended up being yesterday is basically, yeah, he took advice. He heard advice from his military advisors. And as the commander in chief, he gets to make the final call and he chose differently, but it was split. She keeps trying to say that it was that people in his main team were split. And then when pressed on it, she wouldn't say who was advising him that it was fine to just pull out everybody. She won't say because it's a lie. It's a lie.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit from one of these many exchanges from yesterday.
Jen, thanks. It might be helpful if you could just tell us, what do you mean by split? What were they split between?
What's confusing about that?
Well, it's either one, they were advising that 2,500 troops should remain on the ground, or two, that someone was advising that it should be zero.
Well, again, Weijia, I think it's important for the American people to know that these conversations don't happen in black and white or like you're in the middle of a movie. These conversations are about a range of options, about what the risk assessments are about every decision. And of course, there are individuals who come forward with a range of recommendations on what the right path forward looks like. I'm not going to detail those from here. They're private conversations and advice to the President of the United States. Ultimately, regardless of the advice, it's his decision. He's the commander in chief. He's the president. He makes decisions about what's in the national interest.
Yeah. I mean, the only private conversations we get to know are the ones that Trump had.
Right.
And honestly, this is nothing like a movie, because if it were a movie, I mean, I would walk the hell out. This is the worst movie ever, you guys. Worst. My God.
I demand a refund.
Right. This is worse than like that Vanilla Sky movie. Remember that one? God. Seriously.
That was a terrible movie.
Worst movie ever.
Oh my God.
Am I wrong?
No.
What the hell were you thinking,
You were not
Cameron
wrong.
Crowe? What were you thinking? I mean, Jerry Maguire was so good, and then you had to make that? What were you doing?
For real. That was a total disaster. Isn't it interesting too, though? Now you guys will always pick up on this because it's now what I've picked up on. So in addition to answering most every question with well, first I would just say, because that's her thing, right? Like that's Saki's thing. Now she keeps talking about ranges. So he had a range of advisors, a range of recommendations, a range of issues. I mean, she's always talking about the range.
This is Mock's thing. I love it because she studies like people's inflections and like how they word things. This is the psychology major in you, and I love it.
It totally is.
I don't give a crap, right? I just I'm so fixated on her dumb hair Like I can't, it's so, and then how orange it is on any given day. Cause I'm like, it's so, cause I can always tell when she got a dye job, right? You, on the other hand, are completely fixated on like her semantics and how she words things and like what's her, like semantics du jour. That's what you, and I love it.
I can't help it because she picks something and then she's like so honed in on it, and then I become obsessed. I can't help it.
And she'll do it for like 3 weeks straight, and then she's like, "Oh crap, I gotta do something else. I can't circle back anymore because they're on to me. They're on, I'm now circle back is like it's in the press. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a new thing. I'll find a range of new things. I just cannot with her. I cannot.
The worst. She is the worst. She is the heat miser's daughter. That's who she is.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, also friendly reminder that it is time to get yourself some meat, you guys.
Meat,
I have an email from Ellie. Ellie Glenn wrote us. This was back in June when we did the Father's Day special for Omaha Steaks. She is in Southern California, and she said that she wanted to let us know that our checks code works in the Omaha Steaks stores as well as their website. She said, my husband said he thought that there was a shop in Huntington Beach, just a short drive up the coast from where we are in Corona Del Mar. I called today and spoke with Robert, the nicest manager. He said using the code in the store versus the website would not affect us receiving credit or recognition for the sale. She said, I'm super impatient and I hate waiting for things. So we're probably going to go in the next day or two, and I will be sure to send pics of all of our meats. And then she did. Like, they sent pictures of everything that they got. And she got the Get Out and Grill package, which is very, very similar to the current special, which is the deluxe grill assortment. You get so much stuff, you guys, and it's all shipped to you in this nice freezer thingamajiggy.
It is. It's the greatest. Oh my God. And like I love the bacon wrapped fillets. Oh, it's so good. And you guys, the apple tartlets are amazing. And then my daughter, she likes the hot dogs.
And all of that's in there. All of that is in the grill out assortment.
Mm-hmm. You guys, everything is so wonderful. Their hamburgers are to die for too. They're not really like they're like steak burgers. They're so good. So you got to get some meat. Get some meat. The holidays are coming up. You're going to have people coming over your house. People are going to start coming in and out. You need to have meat in your freezer ready to go. And this is the best stuff ever. So do it.
And it makes it so easy, right? Because they put everything together. I mean, it's chicken and franks and steak burgers and so many things, sides, all of it.
It's so good. Yeah.
So all you have to do to get 50% off of the deluxe grill out assortment, plus they throw in 12 free steak burgers. If you go to omahasteaks.com and then put chicks in the keyword, like in the search bar, you use it as a keyword. You just put chicks, and then it takes you right to the deluxe grill out assortment where you can get the 50% off and your 12 free Frankaroonies. I mean, your steak burgers. Sorry.
Steak burgers.
I was like focused on the hot dogs for some reason. Anyway, do it because you can't ever have enough meat stored. Am I right?
You're absolutely right.
Thanks. Thank you, Laura. Laura sent a super sticker, said, watching these dummies slowly do themselves in is the one thing making their conduct worth enduring. Have a great day, ladies.
It's true. I absolutely agree with that. The only thing that makes me a little nervous is that they're destroying the country in the process. That makes me a little nervous. But I hear you. Listen, the next election better be a landslide.
It better be a landslide.
Mm-hmm. Or something's wrong. Or something is seriously wrong. And there will be repercussions for that. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, because at this point, I mean, there's nothing that they have touched that has not turned into an utter disaster.
Right.
So I don't know how they could even think that they're going to maintain control over the House and the Senate. And
they won't. I mean, it'll be worse. It'll be so much worse than when all that crap happened with Obamacare and they lost all the seats. It's going to be so much. It's going to be so much worse than that.
I hope, man. And you know what made me so mad about looking at the House races in the last election? There were so many, and granted, these are like tiny little pockets, right? There's 435 seats up for grabs, essentially, in the House. And so when I would like look at the detail of the races and I would ever see an uncontested race, what the hell? Like, if you're in an area that there's only a Democrat running, just run. Because like, why not? You know what I mean? We need to put up some sort of a fight.
I agree. And that's why we're constantly telling people, get out there, get involved. Like, don't think somebody else will do it. Do it. Get out there and do it.
For real.
You guys are amazing people. Be the person. Do it.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Be the change.
Exactly.
Also, did you hear that Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller is his name? He's in jail in solitary confinement.
The generals put him there. Yeah, because he dared to speak out.
So I get that he had, so somebody's in the military is going to have to explain this to me. I get that they put a gag order on him. And then he got like the gag order, and then he was like, screw that, I'm going to continue to talk. And so then they were like, okay, well then you're going to go to jail. But he's already tried to resign. So why is this even a thing? Why? I don't understand why they even have the power to do that if he is in fact resigned.
I don't know about that. All I know is that his parents now are just like, can we just have the generals resign? Because they suck so hard. Yeah, like how about the Millies resign rather than my son being in, jail right now? I mean, like, he's basically behind bars, and this is not okay. And he was speaking truth and it's so borked, like you would say. All, everything is wrong at the top there. And then, like I was thinking this morning, this is kind of off topic, but I'm thinking this morning about, I have my shower ideas. And I'm thinking about how the military has become and I'm probably going to get calls for this, but the military has become so much like just our politicians. How there's such a huge pay disparity between like the top echelon and then the bottom. Because you and I have done like the charity stuff for the military, where a lot of these families can't do Christmas because they're not paid well. And we're talking, there's such a vast, like the top guys, top brass, my God, they like are living the high life, man. I mean, they're living like kings. And then the guys and women who are kind of in the lower rungs, they are struggling. And and we would go to some of those, we'd be involved in some of those charity things where we're sitting there going, why is this the case? Like, this is really bizarre. Like, it doesn't make any sense to us. And so I look at like the Millies, and I'm just like, that guy's a dumbass. Like, what? Like, how did he get to be where he is? He just doesn't see. I don't understand it. I just don't understand any of this. And I feel like there's such a comparison between the military now and our politicians, and there shouldn't be. Well,
the fact that the military's gotten so political is just not okay. Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Thank you.
I hate that there's even the slightest bit of a comparison now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Milley, he was flat out asked by a couple of senators. And by the way, they're going back on the Hill today to face the House. So it's another whole day of questioning happening today. But yesterday, Holly was one, or Tom Cotton, I think, and Holly both asked, why are you not resigning? Like, this was an abject failure. And Milley had the audacity to exploit the deaths of the 13 Marines, saying they don't get to resign, so I'm not going to resign. And I'm like, what kind of bat shittery did you just say? I couldn't believe it. I was just like, that's the worst thing that he could have said. The worst.
And can you imagine the families of those? Can you just imagine the families and what they thought in that moment?
Have not gotten justice. There's been no justice for them.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. God,
and it's these same military advisors that were like, hey, maybe we should just go drone 10 kids and not actual terrorists. That'll show them for murdering our 13 Marines. And so they slaughtered kids with a drone, and they're like, oh, our bad. Sorry, we missed. And there's still no justice.
And again, And again, I go back to, here are the guys at the top who are like, living the high life. And then here are those beautiful kids who are in the trenches doing the freaking work, who paid the ultimate price for us, and it's like, and then their families have to watch him say that garbage.
I know. It's
What
unbearable.
is that?
Unbearable. Kamala is getting slaughtered in the press again because she goofed again, because she's such a complete idiot. She's very busy, like being in charge of stuff that she has absolutely no capability of dealing with. So she made a surprise visit to, I think it was George Mason University, to attend like a class and like be a guest of a class. And then she took questions at the end of this class. And there was a student there who said, I was really, I'm obviously paraphrasing, but the student basically said, I was really disappointed to see that there was this vote to continue to fund Israel, even though Israel is guilty of ethnic genocide. And Kamala sat there and nodded. And at the end of that diatribe said, well, I'm so glad that you brought that up, and you definitely deserve to have your voice heard, and we should never try to suppress any point of view. She said nothing, essentially, but she's so dumb that she agreed with the sentiment of what this idiot student was saying. So now she's getting killed, and she deserves every bit of it because she is an anti-Semitic hose beast. Oh, I can't stand that woman.
So many of these people are, right? I mean, look at the squad. This is who's basically running the Democrat Party, and the Democrat Party now is anti-Semites. If you're Jewish and you're a Democrat, I don't understand you. Like, you're going to explain yourself at once. And I know people. People I like grew up with who are Jewish and Democrat. I don't understand you. Like, because I mean, you're hanging out with the squad who hates you.
Right.
Okay, whatever. Have fun with that.
It makes no sense.
0 sense.
No sense at all. I heard on the news today that Border Patrol is getting a vax mandate. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, but like, they are required to get a vaccine by November 1st. Just think about how dumb that is, though, when it comes to Border Patrol, who is currently in the process of having to process a gajillion migrants that are diseased.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me because they're part of the federal government, and the federal government is now being told you have to get a vaccine. So, I mean, I'm not surprised by that at all. However, what I'd like to know data-wise is how many of those people get breakthrough cases. Like, how many of those people are going to get sick just based on the number of sick people coming through? Because so many of those people are going to be sick coming through from COVID.
Yeah.
So how many of those border control people are going to get sick from the sick people that they're just allowing to pour over our border?
It's a great question, and unfortunately will never be answered because, as you know, there are no breakthrough stats being taken anymore.
That's right. There are no breakthrough cases.
Very rare.
Ridiculous.
I mean, it doesn't matter that you hear about them almost every single day. It's very, very rare.
Yeah, like all your friends and family are telling you, oh my God, I got the vaccine and I still got COVID. It's a great vaccine. Yeah.
I mean, it's just absolute nonsense. Also, so Stephanie Grisham's book is coming out next week. And there's already been like a whole bunch of salacious pieces of stuff that's coming out from the book. It's going to be so ridiculous, but people will lap it up. So the thing that yesterday came out, it actually happened during our radio show. And so I was like, you guys, there's a headline right now in Daily Mail that says that one of the revelations in Stephanie Grisham's book is that after Stormy Daniels wrote in her book in 2018 that Trump's penis looked like a toadstool, that Trump immediately called Stephanie to insist to her that it did not, in fact, look like a toadstool and that it was not small. These are the kinds of details you're going to get in Stephanie Grisham's book.
It sounds gripping. I mean, I just can't wait to read that one. It's going to enrich my life. God, these people.
So dumb.
And again, it's like, we got to keep talking about Trump. These people are obsessed. Like they're at this point, they're stalkers. Like I would just
Well, it's the only way they can continue to stay relevant at all. I mean, look at Stelter. Stelter just found out his ratings tanked again, like even harder than they already were,
it's like
because he doesn't have Trump to fall back on now.
nothing. He has nothing to talk about. Yeah, it's like and the thumb man. These people are pathetic. I mean, even like I told you that last week, Rachel Maddow. That's all. They just keep going backwards, keep talking about Trump. I mean, they just have such disdain and like they're just so stalkery. I would just, if I were Trump, I would get a restraining order on these people.
Well, he is suing to keep all of the January 6th records of what he was doing that day and all that kind of stuff under seal. He's suing, and not, at first, like when you first see the headline, I was like, why is he doing that? If he's got nothing to hide, then just let all the records come out. Well, who cares? But he's doing it as a way to delay the hearing, the committee from actually making any progress, because, and he'll continue to sue through 2022's election, so that they can't be like, look, like they can't try to use their hearing as a way of garnering votes.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that's actually pretty smart.
It's not, yeah, because at first I was like, don't do that. And then I was like, oh no, I see. I get it. I see what you're doing now.
It'll just deflect. I mean, it's like they need to just focus. My God. It's like all they have to do is just concentrate on Trump. Everything is about Trump, Trump, Trump. Just stop it. Everything is not about Trump. The world is on fire right now. Our world, our country, because of Biden. Maybe focus a little bit on Biden. I mean, that's the thing that I found so disheartening and a little bit terrifying over the past couple of weeks is if you look at some of the other, if you just take a couple minutes and just watch like the Rachel Maddows and watch the Cuomos and stuff like that and in the prime time, they're not talking about actual news. They're looking backwards. They're talking about things that they shouldn't be talking about. And people watch. I mean, listen, I don't watch on a regular basis, but there are people in this country who actually watch that garbage and they think that that's news. And there's so much going on that it's, those people don't watch us for the 30 minutes that we're talking every morning. And so they're not hearing about some of the stories that are kind of important,
Yeah, exactly. It's time for talks. Very, very excited and pleased to tell you that our talks are brought to you by MyPillow. Talks brought to you by MyPillow. Don't forget, you can get all the discounts on all the MyPillow goodness, and especially right now, it's BOGO on the sheet. BOGO, buy one, get one on all of the Giza Dream Sheets. Just use code CHICKS when you go to mypillow.com. Chicks. Okay, let's get to some talks because actually I have a couple that are very news related. First of all, did you guys hear Jonathan Isaac from the Orlando Magic talk about why he's not getting the vax?
I did.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Listen.
What is it about the vaccine that makes you hesitant to get it?
I would start with I've had COVID in the past, and so our understanding of antibodies, of natural immunity has changed a great deal from the onset of the pandemic, and it's still evolving. I understand that the vaccine would help if you catch COVID, and you'll be able to have less symptoms from contracting it. But with me having COVID in the past and having antibodies with my current age group and physical fitness level, it's not necessarily a fear of mine. Taking the vaccine, like I said, it would decrease my chances of having a severe reaction, but it does open me up to the, albeit rare chance, but the possibility of having an adverse reaction to the vaccine itself. I don't believe that being unvaccinated means infected, or being vaccinated means uninfected. You can still catch COVID with or without having the vaccine. I would say, honestly, the craziness of it all, in terms of not being able to say that it should be everybody's fair choice without being demeaned or talked crazy to, doesn't make one comfortable to do what said person is telling them to do. I would say that's a couple of the reasons that, I would say I'm hesitant at this time, but
anyway, it was amazing. If you haven't heard the whole thing, hear it. Go and listen to it. Because he was so thoughtful and so clear about how he made this decision, not just because he's like some crazy anti-vaxxer, but because he put a lot of thought into it about his personal situation and his own health status. And that's how everybody should be able to do it.
Yeah, and I heard somebody the other day. I wish I remember who it was, but some the other day actually tried to stereotype him and say, he's perpetuating the stereotype of the dumb jock.
Oh my God.
And I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. So hearing him talk about it, because this was before he did this. And so hearing him talk, I was just like, you go
That's
because he is the antithesis of that. And so you just preach on, dude. Cause he is a smart, awesome guy. And I hope he just keeps on getting out there and saying what he's saying. Good for him. Yep.
Good for him and good for Pitbull.
Oh my God.
Friendly reminder about why I love him.
Mr. Worldwide Speaking Facts.
Is this. So whoever the fuck doesn't like the United States of America, may God bless you. But fuck you at the same time. If you don't like the United States of America, go back to the countries that we the fuck from, and you'll see how much you appreciate the United States of America.
There you go. Oh my God. We almost went to see him.
Right?
We almost went to see him.
We were so lame in Vegas.
We were, you guys, we were this close. We were this close to going to see him.
And now I am full of regret.
I know. All the regret. All of the regret.
All the regret. Also, great little bit between. I know this is very political. My talks are political today. I'm sorry,
I love
but
it. They're great.
Okay, good. So there's a really nice little conversation that Dennis Prager had with Jordan Peterson, two amazing fellows, about equity. And it's really quick, but I thought it was just this perfect little chat. Listen.
If the word equity means equality, why don't they use the word equality?
Well, what do you think it means exactly?
I know what it means. It means equality of outcome.
Why do you think that's so toxic?
Because it means standards don't matter. It means results matter. Is there equity in the NBA? How many Jews are in the NBA? How many Japanese are in the NBA? There's no equity in the NBA, and there shouldn't be. I only want the best basketball players, and I want the best pilots, and I want the best physicists, and I want the best. Do you know that they are dropping the? I follow music. I conduct periodically. I'm very into music. So the New York Times has advocated the dropping of the blind auditions for the New York Philharmonic. No longer shall you choose the best violinist or oboist. You choose based on the color of the violinist or oboist. That's equity.
Wowzers. That was a really good summary of what the difference is, right?
Yeah, totally. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last one I have is just so that you can like monkeys.
Oh my God.
I'm not playing the music because I don't want to get a copyright violation.
Yeah.
But it's just like lullaby music. And look at his face.
What kind is that? What kind?
You
always know what kind they are. Is that
I don't. I'm actually really bad at branding monkeys.
Is it it's a capuchin, I think, isn't it?
It probably is. He's just the sweetest. Look at him just dreaming away, getting his little chest scratched. I love him.
I mean, he's cute. It's like chimpanzees will rip your genitals off, but I don't think this one will. Am I wrong, you guys? I mean,
he's not going to rip any genitals off. I just know he won't.
I feel like that one I could probably I could probably handle. Yeah.
I love him. Also, I need to tell, I'm telling you this for the first time, and also all of our watchers and listeners, we can only do like 20 minutes tomorrow and no talks because Rob has stuff. We got to do stuff early tomorrow because he has to cover for Tony at 8. And so we have to get all of
Rob. Well, maybe we should
start early.
Can we start like 10 minutes early?
We can if you want to start at 10 till 7 tomorrow.
My husband may divorce me, but we could probably Cause you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but see this disgusting bed behind me? This like, and somebody said that looked like a ball sack up there. This bed is a futon. It's a full, yeah, right. This bed is a full-size futon. We sleep on this every night. And then in the morning, at 4:45 in the morning, I come in here and I turn on all the lights. And then my husband, and he walks out of here in his boxer. He's all mad. Every morning, this is what happens. I mean, it's a wonder I'm still married. This is what we do. So if I can maybe get up at like, a little bit earlier to do like 4:30.
Well, it doesn't mean you'll get up earlier. It just means we won't have our normal chat time.
Okay, that's true. We'll just get going.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe the night before we'll just sort of tonight we'll just sort of go. What are we doing? We'll do a little. Sorry, we're doing this all in front of you guys. But we'll do that. We're making plans in front of you. But yeah, that's what we'll do. So anywho, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. We'll just do a little. We'll do like 5 or 10 minutes earlier, and then everybody will still get their 30 minutes. So no worries. But tell Rob that he's a diva. He can't.
I know it's not his fault. It's Tony that's the diva. He's got to cover for Tony. So yeah, so tomorrow's just gonna shift to like 10 till and then until 7:20. So sorry, you guys. Sorry.
It's a little bit of a shift. You'll still see us. It'll be fine.
Just one day.
Okay. All right.
And Friday will be normal.
All right, you guys.
And really, we did extra today. Yeah, it's like almost 6 or 7 minutes extra.
We did that yesterday too. We did like 39 minutes. Yeah, we've been doing.
There is somebody really gross in here. Brian Risso, you're disgusting. I'm banning you immediately. Oh my God.
What did he say? Did he say something gross?
He said the N-word and like all kinds of other disgusting things.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I think I blocked him, but I don't know if other people can still see him. Yeah, other people are blocking him too. What an idiot. I mean, seriously, just what is your problem?
TFO, dude.
Oh my God. All right.
You guys bring it in. Yeah, he doesn't get hugged.
No hugs for Brian.
That guy gets banished. Brian gets banished. Bye, Brian. All right. God, get a life, dude.
You're a scumbag, Brian.
All right, you guys have a great Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.